up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So what we're actually doing on the truck tonight is installing a new exhaust. Now I showed what the exhaust was in the previous video, but we're actually going to install tonight. So what I want to do first is go out and get some sound clips of the stock exhaust, just so you have a good comparison. Anytime I make an exhaust video, I want to make sure that I take previous clips of what it was to what it's going to, so everybody gets an understanding of what it's going to be and what it's going to sound like, just the differences and everything. So I'm going to head over to an exhaust spot and get some sound clips. Man, it is so easy to peel out in this truck. Watch. So easy, so much torque. I don't really care about these tires since I'm getting new ones anyway, but a lot of fun. All right, so we are back in the garage. We're gonna get started on installing the new exhaust kit. Now, if you guys don't know and didn't watch a previous video, this is the Corsa Resonator Delete Kit. It's made of 304 stainless, so it's very high quality, very nice. Comes with all the hardware and everything that you need to install it. It's a clamp style on this end. On the other end, towards the front of the truck, you just got two bolts that butt right up to the other part of the exhaust. So basically, all we're doing is replacing a section of the catback, which is the middle section, basically, mid-pipe, whatever you want to call it. On the stock catback, there's a giant resonator right in the middle here. So this is a really nice solution. I picked this up from American Trucks. You can easily go to an exhaust shop and get this done for under $100. But honestly, the pure convenience factor out of it, that you literally don't have to do any cutting, any welding, and I can simply do this right in my garage on my own. It was just more, like I said, it's more of a convenience factor. I like doing the work myself, and it's a really, really simple install. It's a little bit more expensive. It's around $220, $230, but honestly, I believe it's worth it. You get a really nice high quality metal, a really nice quality pipe, and Corsa, as we all know, is a very high quality and reputable brand. And like I said, you can do this in the garage by yourself in a half an hour or so. So it's very straightforward, and that is the reason why I went with it. Now, some of you may be asking, why didn't you go with the full catback? Now, I had some thoughts of doing that. I thought about going with AWE or the full Corsa. There's a ton of different options out there, but honestly, this is my daily driver. I had to refrain from going too nuts on it. I don't want to bring it to a point where it's not fun to drive anymore. I just want something that's a little bit louder, has a little bit more tone, a little bit more volume, but not over the top. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube and just on the internet in general in the forums, and a lot of people were saying doing the Resonator Delete on the EcoBoost, the 3.5 motor, actually sounds really good. It's one of the better options to do out there. So for 230 bucks, I thought it was 100% worth it, and way cheaper than doing a full catback. You know, that would cost over $1,000 at least some of the options that I was considering, they were over $1,000. And another piece that I picked up to kind of complete the overall blacked out look on my truck, I had a lot of chrome on it. I removed everything, and the exhaust tip on the stock catback is chrome. So I wanted to remove that. So I picked up this really nice MBRP exhaust tip. This is a 4-inch tip with a 3-inch opening that fits right over the stock exhaust. So you just remove the stock chrome tip and then bolt it down. Really, really simple. Way nicer than stock. Like I said, it has the nice black finish, so it's going to look really good. Also, on the pictures on the website, I got it from American Trucks. Like, I got all my stuff. The one that's shown on the side here, it has a stamped out MBRP logo here. But this one actually came with a nicer logo. I don't like big logos, so that was the only part I wasn't crazy about. So it has a really nice subtle logo on the top of the tip right there, and I thought that was really nice. I was actually surprised when I opened it up. I like that way better than the other one with the logo on the side. So a relatively simple install. It's literally just replacing one pipe with some nice new hardware and a nice new black exhaust tip. It's going to give it a little bit more tone, a little bit more sound, which I'm all for, since the, as you guys saw in the previous clips, the stock catback is so quiet, you honestly can't even hear it over the road noise and tires and everything. So it's pretty quiet. So adding a little bit more volume, a little bit more tone, I think is going to do this exhaust well. It's going to make the truck sound a little bit better, and just be a little bit more aggressive than stock, because I can't leave any of my cars completely stock. It's just one of those things. I have to touch a little bit of everything. After we install everything, we're going to go out, do the same exact exhaust clips that I did with the stock exhaust, so you guys can get a good comparison, just to hear the differences between the two. So you can get a general idea of what this does for the truck. What we got to do is actually back the Telluride out and get the truck in here so we can get cracking on installing this. So let me go ahead, get the truck in here, and we can get started on the exhaust. All right, guys, so we are under the truck. This is what we're replacing. So it's going to start right here, come back. There's a giant resonator, and then there's the connection point right there. Kind of hard to see right there. So all we're doing is just replacing that. It's just one clamp on that end, and the flange side is on that side. I believe they're 13 millimeter. I'll have to check exactly. But relatively simple. It is pretty rusted, so I'm going to spray some PB Blaster on there, just to kind of loosen some things up. If anything breaks, it's not a big deal because we have complete replacement hardware, so we're not reusing stock hardware or anything like that. But let me go ahead, spray them down, and then we can get to removing this piece. All right, so we got the little clamp there and the flange sprayed down. So I've been waiting about 10 minutes or so. So what I'm gonna do now is take a 13 millimeter wrench and actually just try to loosen this up. Hopefully it doesn't give me any trouble. Pretty rusted, but we should be able to break it loose. So let's give it a go. Never mind, the clamp is a 15 millimeter. The flange is a 13. So we got the clamp undone and loosened. That came off pretty easily. I ended up using a big breaker bar, much easier, much more leverage, came off nice and easy. So now we're gonna work on the flange over here. These are 13 millimeter. I'm gonna use the same breaker bar to get them loose, and we should be able to take this out. Oh, it hurts my ears. Oh. Terrible sound. All right, so we got the stock mid pipe, I guess I'll call it. We got that one out. This side was a little tough since it was rusted on, the slip-on part. So I just end up using some PB Blaster, and then I ended up bending the actual clamp out of the way. And then you can see this little hole right here. And I jammed a screwdriver up there, and then I was able to kind of get some leverage and push it. And then it broke loose. I was able to get it free. This side was super easy. Here's a comparison. Literally the exact same thing, obviously much nicer and much better metal. And there's just no resonator here. So like I said, it's gonna give a little bit more tone, a little bit more volume, not too much, not obnoxious. It's not gonna cause any drone or anything, since I still have the stock giant muffler in the back. So yeah, really simple. It's just literally doing everything in reverse order. Gonna use all the new supplied hardware, so we're all good there. I'm gonna throw some PB Blaster on the flange right here so it slips on a little bit easier. And then we can come over to the exhaust tip and replace that with a nice new black one. And then we can start up, do some exhaust clips, and we can wrap the video up. So let's go ahead, let's get this installed and hear how it sounds. All right, so one thing that I'm going to do that I actually recommend, it does come with some anti-seize in the kit. This is a little packet, but I have a much bigger bottle here that I use on pretty much everything when I install, exhaust, suspension, anything of that nature, bolts. And it's a little bit easier to apply since there's a brush. So you're literally just going to put it on the actual threads of the clamp, as well as the new 14 millimeter bolts, just on the threads, just so they don't seize and you're able to take them off and they torque down properly. So I'm gonna do that once I install everything. Just wanted to mention that before I get under the truck. All right, guys, so we are all installed, tightened up, good and tight. We got the clamp and the slip-on all tightened up, and over here tightened up with some anti-seize on both threads of the bolts, and we're good to go. So let's go ahead. Let's go over to the exhaust tip and get that installed. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to the exhaust tip. Much easier to work since I'm not under the truck. But I believe that's just a 15 millimeter bolt or clamp. And we're just gonna loosen that. First, I'm gonna spray some PB Blaster like I did on the mid pipe, and then loosen it up. And it should slide right off. And then we can slip the new one on. Could look way nicer. It's all dirty, but it's just the chrome tip that I absolutely hate. And I'm in the process of removing all the chrome on the truck, as you guys know. So let's go ahead, let's get this removed and get the much nicer black tip on. All right, so that was easy enough. They came off right away. Back here is all rusted, obviously, but the new tip is going to cover that. So all we do is simply just slip the new one on, tighten it down, and we can be done. So really simple. I'm happy that came off. I thought it was going to be a little bit more work, but we are good to go. So let's get the new tip, slip it on, and tighten it up. So that looks way better, way nicer than the stock chrome tip. Slipped on, no problem. Tightened it down with the Allen key. I forget what size it was. It's pretty big though, but way nicer. And I love the little logo there. I was trying to find a Corsa one in black that would fit on the stock pipe over here, but I couldn't find one. So I went with the next, I guess, cleanest one that I found. And it, fits just like stock. It doesn't stick out crazy far or anything like that. I don't really like the giant openings, the giant tips. Where it looks a little obnoxious to me, so I like that OEM Plus look. So let's go ahead, start it up, see what it sounds like, and then go out for some exhaust clips. Also, one thing that you guys probably noticed, there was a lot of smoke coming out when I first started it. That is totally normal when you install a new exhaust or a new exhaust piece. That's just some residual oil that they use to fabricate the exhaust. So that's just burning off. Plus it's 18 degrees out right now, so pretty cold. So that's why there was an abundant amount of smoke. But here's a little bit of a close-up. You can kind of hear the tone. Sounds really good. All right, guys, so that concludes the install of the Resonator Delete in the F150, as well as the black exhaust tip from MBRP. Really, really nice setup. As you can tell, it's not drastically louder than stock or anything to really write home about. But honestly, for a daily driver, something that you just, you don't want too much volume, you don't want to over the top, it's absolutely perfect. It gives it a little bit more tone, a little bit more volume, but it's not obnoxious. The really nice part about it is if I ever feel like upgrading to the full Corsa catback, all I got to do is get the rear section and I can attach it right to that mid pipe that I just installed. So really nice system. You can buy it in stages if you want. I'll probably end up doing that down the road, but honestly for right now, I'm really happy with that. I think it sounds really good. There's no drone obviously inside the cabin. Honestly, you can't even tell a difference inside until you really get on it and you have the windows down. But otherwise, I'm really enjoying it. It's a really nice install. Everything fit perfectly. Everything looks really good. Honestly, it looks OEM. It fits like OEM. And I'm happy I got that disgusting rusted resonator mid pipe off the truck. It's pretty gross looking. And we got a nice 304 stainless pipe in there now. But yeah, that's the install. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you're able to tell a little bit of a difference. It does sound a lot better in person than probably the camera is picking up. And it's really cool. You can hear the turbo noises kind of spool down once you let off the gas and kind of the RPMs come down, which is a really nice touch. You can hear it a little bit more now that the resonator is deleted. It's always so hard to do exhaust videos and kind of really portray what it sounds like in person. Same thing with my STI. It's so hard to actually show you guys exactly what it sounds like in person. It's totally different in person than it is on video, but I always try my best to try to get you different angles, different driving scenarios, different revving and stuff, so you guys get a good idea. But yeah, guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions at all about the Resonator Delete by Corsa or the nice black exhaust tip, let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, guys, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys, before I leave, I left you with a little bit of a burnout in the earlier part of the video. So I think it's appropriate to do one last one at the end of the video with the new exhaust on. So let's do that real quick and get the hell out of here. Not bad. Left my mark here. This thing just spins the tires so easily in the rear.